What's the best way for your body to build core strength and stability? Very simply, it's resisting movement. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is take you through 3 exercises and talk about, first of all, what resisting movement is, and then how those exercises are doing that and why that is the best way for building core strength and stability. So first of all, part 1, what's resisting movement? Well, very simply, it's the opposite to creating movement. So exercises that are well established and that are talked about the most, they generally create movement. So an exercise like a crunch, that is the rectus abdominis, creating movement to pull your body up into position. So that would be an exercise that creates movement. What we want to do is we want to resist movement. So we want to prevent movement. So we need to find exercises that prevent movement of the torso, because that is a much more effective way to build core strength and stability. So exercise number 1, or as certainly a measure, is we would want you to be able to hold a plank, side plank, bridge and bird dog for a minimum amount of time. So a plank for a minimum of a minute, side plank minimum 45 seconds, bridge minimum 2 minutes, bird dog minimum of 30 seconds. So what does that look like? So just very quickly, bird dog would be 20-second hold, 20-second hold. Plank, 1 minute hold without moving, so without your body changing position. 45 seconds for the side plank. 2 minute hold for the glute bridge, or 1 minute hold for the single leg glute bridge. So that would be a minimum standard. What we can then start to do is we can then start to build on top of that. So that's the minimum standard, that's 4 exercises, minimum standard. What we'll now do is we'll look at some other exercises, so we'll look at 3 exercises, and the third one you can kind of turn into many other exercises, which we'll do slightly, but essentially we're going to look at 3 exercises that will help you develop your ability to resist movement and build greater core strength and stability. And the first of those exercises is a plank with an arm raise. Now, the arm raise is the important bit, and what you do with your hips is also very important. So we come down into the plank as normal. So we've built up that minimum standard that we talked about. Now again, if you've got any questions about where you may be or how to get to that minimum standard, stick them down in the comment section below. If you're liking it so far, hit the like button. But for now, we come down into a plank. Now we need to set up slightly differently for this plank, because what we need to do, we need to bring elbows close, feet wide. That gives us, let's just call it a structural base, because we build ourselves essentially a bit like a pyramid. So elbows close, feet wide. What we then do is lift the arm up, place it on the back. Now when we do that, we want the hips to stay completely still, because when we then put the arm down and go at the other side, again, we want the hips to stay completely still. So again, when we go into this, you're going to be falling all over the place. That's why we build up the minimum standard, so we've got a base level of strength. So as a general rule, what will happen is you will go either roll to the side or you'll weight shift over to one leg. So that's what we need to sort of start preventing from happening. Now this progression and this system of resisting movement, this is what my 12-week How to Build Core Strength and Stability program is all about, which you can find in the link below. Now, what we need to be able to do is when we lift the arm up and when we put it back down, we don't want our hips to move. So we need to concentrate on holding these muscles. That's the resisting of the movement. So when I lift and my hips want to do that, what I do is I essentially lift up and hold my hip down in position. So it's as if I'm pushing my hip back down towards the floor. That's the resisting of the movement. What then starts to happen is your body starts to learn to hold it in place, and it will start to do that. So the first thing is when you pick it up and when you put it down, and I'll talk about the putting down bit now, because when people put it down, they go like that, they can hold it in place, but then they get lazy as they're about to put it on the floor and they wobble, and then they lift up and they wobble. So when we go from arm to arm, again, we need to develop the ability to resist that movement. Because when we pick the arm up, it wants to move. When you put the arm down, it wants to move. When you then pick the other arm up, your body wants to move. You need to be able to resist that. That's what's going to build much greater core strength and stability. And what we're going to do now is look at exercise number 2. And exercise number 2 is a side plank with a leg raise. So this is like the next step on from that holding of plank, side plank, bridge and bird dog. So once we get to that minimum standard, that's when you would start thinking, right, I don't need them anymore. Now I need to move on to this. So we come down into a normal side plank as we would. Now we know we can hold for 45 seconds because we've said that's our minimum standard already. So we come up into this position. What we then do is we lift a foot up and we put it down. Now the goal here is not to let the hip move. So we go here, the hip doesn't move, we hold it down, the hip doesn't move as we pick up. Because just like the plank, when you put your elbow, pick your elbow up and put your elbow back down, your hips are going to want to wobble. It's the same scenario here. When you pick your foot up off the other one, your hips are going to want to drop. When you put your foot down, there's going to be a wobble. Then when you lift up, same's going to happen. When you put it back down, same's going to happen. So we've got a minimum standard of 45 seconds. So basically we would do 1, 2, 3 or 4 lifts. We know that's only going to take, say 20 to 30 seconds. We know we can hold that position, but we don't know that we can hold it whilst moving a leg. Hence why we build that minimum standard up, so that when we come onto exercises like this, it's much easier to work. And with the 12-week program, I progress you through logically. So when we get to this point, you've already got the minimum standard and you've got a few other bits and pieces required. So when you come to lift, you're in a much better place to be able to lift. So you know your core strength and stability is going to be that much stronger. So we need all of the components in place. So we need to be up here. We need the elbow below the shoulder. That's the first thing we need, is just to get in the right position. Then when we come up, we place down. Now you can sort of go into this position and hold it because you're going to relax because you've got both feet on the floor. Then we retense and come up. So when we do the movement, your muscles want to hold, relax when you put it down, hold when you pick it up, relax when you put it down. That's what we need to develop. So you're developing this ability for your muscles to enhance their contraction, but also resist movement. And exercise number 3, we're going to use a kettlebell. We're using a kettlebell because these are more dynamic. So when you get to the end of the 12-week program, there are kettlebell workouts ready for you to go if you need them. If you haven't got kettlebells, don't worry, because the 12-week program will take you up to the point where you get to the kettlebell workout. But kettlebell workouts are brilliant for core strength and stability because they're more dynamic and they really help the body resist movement. So the first thing that we would do is just get you standing, holding the weight in both hands and just passing it around the body. Now what most people will want to do is that. So we're not resisting the movement because our body wants to sway. But when we know our body's working is when our shoulders stay nice and level. So this is our body now resisting movement. You'll obviously feel the arms working, but our torso and our core is resisting movement. And obviously then we would go the other way. To enhance that a little bit, because we won't be able to rock as much and we shorten the lever, we would come down on our knees. So this will just make it a little bit more intense. We won't be able to move as much. But again, that's another easy progression. So that's just very simple, go from standing to kneeling. So that's one progression. What we can then do is make it even more dynamic, move the kettlebell faster, and that again will develop the core strength and stability. But what it's also doing, because we're moving the weight around, it's moving the tension around the core as well. So when it's at the front's working. When it's here, the left is working. The back, the right, the front. We can also start at the back, make our front work a little bit harder by just taking it around the back, like so. I'm not stopping it with the other hand, I'm stopping it with the hand that's holding it, which has got to make this torso work that much harder, because what I don't want it to do is pull me in that direction. So that's another way of resisting the movement. If we make it a little bit more dynamic, we start with the weight up, we go around the back and back up. Again, my torso is trying to resist the movement so I don't get pulled around. So I use the momentum and then little pulses to be able to move the weight to where I want it to be. So if you're enjoying this content, hit the like button. Got any questions about kettlebells, stick it in the comments below. But kettlebells are more advanced because you are moving weight around, but you do need to build this foundation before you get there. Having that minimum standard, building up through arm raises, leg raises with the side plank. Then what we're able to do, because we've started to build a bit of upper body and lower body strength, we can start getting kettlebells in our hands and we can start moving them around, catching them up by our shoulders or just moving them around. But again, resisting movement here in very dynamic, because when it comes to sports and performance, that's what we're doing. We're not flopping around with the core. Our core becomes an energy transfer unit. It transfers energy from the hips to the arms, or lower body to upper body, or upper body to lower body. So it needs to go through rigidity for that, but it also needs that pulsing element to it. So if you want to build core strength and stability, that is the few steps to get you there. Again, if you've got any questions, leave it down below. You want to watch more, hit the subscribe button. You want to build core strength and stability in this way, hit the link in the description. And if you've enjoyed the content, hit the like button. My name's Chris. I'll speak to you in the next video.